Hello and welcome to another processing tutorial. This time we're going to be editing up this image of M51, the Whirlpool Galaxy. It's 15 hours of data taken from my Bortle 8 city centre back garden. Used an ASCAR 130 refractor and an ASI 2600 MC Pro camera. I used an Optolong L Quad Enhance filter for this. It's a broadband light pollution filter. It helps a little bit with all the light pollution that I've got, plus it helps the hydrogen regions to come through. So I find it quite useful for galaxies with hydrogen gas in them. Right, but without further ado, let's crack on. So the first thing I do with my images is make a backup of it in case we have to go back. And my data is oversampled, so I like to take the image that we're working on and downsample it by 2, which is the equivalent of bin times 2. That'll give us a bit of a boost in signal to noise ratio. Then we want to perform a dynamic crop on this. Now often I wait until the end of a project, near the end, to do a crop, especially for large nebulae that might actually extend quite far out toward the edge of the frame. But in this instance, I want to focus in a bit more on the galaxy. So let's take our dynamic crop, and I'm going to hold down the control button on my keyboard as I move this in order to maintain the aspect ratio. And let's move it to about there. And then click on the tick to confirm that. Looking good. Now I'm going to run Image Solver. Where's Image Solver? There we go. This will give us lots of information about the image that PixInsight can use for later processes. Now that's done, nice and easy. Blur Exterminator is what I'm going to run next. No, sorry, scratch that, not Blur Exterminator next. Next we want to remove any gradients that we have. My current favourite method is using SETI Astro's free plugins here, Automatic DBE, Automatic Dynamic Background Extraction. I'm going to just leave everything on the defaults and click Execute. And then once that's done, we can use a screen transfer function to see the gradient that's been removed from that. And then if we run the same screen transfer function on here, we can see the gradients have been taken out. So this is good progress. Let's minimize this and make a clone of that, just in case we need to go back. Right, next, SFC for our colors. It's a broadband data, so we can just leave all that as the defaults. Let's run that. That should give us slightly better colours. And now it's time for Blur Exterminator. Now you could just run Blur Exterminator with the default settings, but personally I like to get a bit of data first through, I always forget, render PSF image. This is going to give us the point spread function, I think it is, which is a number which is going to give us a more accurate result when we use Blur Exterminator. So we run that, and we want a number between the two full width half maximum x and y values. So we want, say, 1.48. 1.48 is between those two, isn't it? So let's remember 1.48. Then open up Blur Exterminator. We're not using automatic, we're putting in the number that we just got. And I'll leave everything else as is, and we're going to run that. There we go, a couple of seconds later, and that's done. That sharpens up our image a little bit, counteracting the Earth's atmosphere, blurring our image as much as we can anyway. Now I think it's time to stretch our image. So my current favourite way is another SETI Astro. I do like these SETI Astro scripts, and the one we want is called Statistical Stretch. Let's give this a preview, and that looks pretty good straight off, I would say, just using all the defaults. Let's click execute. Is it doing it? What have I done wrong here? Oh, I see what I've done wrong. I need to select that image. Then click execute, and then it'll do it. There we go. Let's rename this one M51 stretched. Put that over there. Okay, good progress. Now I know we played about with the colours before using SFC, but I personally like to run a bit of SCNR to remove any green that might have snuck through. Don't like to have green in the images. Don't want to get any green colour casts. And then we're at the point to remove our stars. So I'm going to make a clone of that, load up StarNet 2. We've stretched our data, so we can uncheck that linear box and then run StarNet 2 on this image. Okie dokie. And then we're going to use Utilities, Screen Stars, which is a free plugin by Mike Cranfeld and Bill Blanchard. It's very good. I like this for star removal. Our starry view is called M51 Stretched, and our starless view is called M51 Stretched Clone 1. I'm going to click OK, and this is going to remove the stars from the image. And again, there's still a bit of green that snuck through there, so I'm going to actually tell you what, let's use our color saturation, and we're going to give the colors a boost up to about there. Click on the square to OK that, and then run that SCNR again to make sure there's no green stars. That's all our stars taken out. We're going to minimize that, put that out of the way. We don't need this one anymore. We're just going to work with this one. Let's call it M51 Starless, shall we? And the reason we've split out the stars from the starless image is because the edits that we're going to make to this, we don't necessarily want to make those global changes to the stars as well, because we just want to focus on the galaxy here and its structure. We'll put the stars back into this image at the end. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Alright, let's bring up the curves, shall we? Where's my curves shortcut? There we go. Curves transformation. Click on the little circle to get a real-time preview, and then click on the little tick so that we can have a histogram graph view of this data. And what we want is the background to be darker, whilst the galaxy can be brightened a little bit. So we're just going to play about with that, creating what's called an S-curve. Not bad. Should make it background a bit darker still. And in the real-time preview view, we've got this little circle at the top left. We can toggle that to see before and after our changes. You can see a lot better. To apply that, we're going to click on the square. Close, close. There we go. I want to saturate the colour in the galaxy a little bit to make it a bit more interesting, but I don't want to saturate the colour of the background. We want that to stay as neutral as we can. So in order to do that, we need to select the galaxy, but not the background. The way to do that is with a mask. So I'm going to load up range selection, create a preview of that, and we need to play about with the lower limit and the upper limit until we have our galaxy selected. Let's, not fuzziness, sorry, smoothness. That looks about right, I would say. So we've got the galaxy selected and this little galaxy down here. We don't have the background selected. So I'm going to apply that, and that has created our mask. Now in order to apply the mask, we're going to click on its name, drag it over onto this bar here and then let go. And the red is showing us where the mask is applied. Now our mask options are up here. So at the moment the red is in the background because that's what is being selected. So we actually want to invert that, don't we? So we can click that button and now it's the galaxy that's selected. We don't want to see all the red, we believe it's there. So we're going to click on this icon there just to take that red off. But we know that the mask is applied because this little name tag here has got the browny orange colour to it. Alright then, so what we're going to do is load up, what one should we do? Let's boost the saturation, that's what I said, isn't it? Zoom in on that a little bit. Oh no, real-time preview is what we want. And let's click on this icon here in the bottom left and we can draw a box around what we want to zoom in on. And we want to boost our saturation. And this should boost up the galaxy. Yeah, it's quite subtle actually, but it is doing it just to the galaxy. And then, hang on, let's make sure I got that the right way around. No, I got it the wrong way around. Right. We're currently applying this to the background, whereas we want to be applying it to the galaxy. Rookie mistake. Okay, so we don't want to invert the mask. We want to keep it as it was. Silly me. All right, let's try that again, shall we? Color saturation. Zoom in on the galaxy. And now boost. There we go. Maybe you can see it's becoming quite a lot bluer there. So we're going to apply that. That was looking all right. If we want to play about with the colours in this galaxy further, then a good way to do that is what's called, let's see if I can find it, selective colour correction, which is in the toolbox. Let's zoom in on our galaxy. And we can play about with our colours here. So, for example, if we wanted to modify that blue, if we thought it was a bit too blue, then we can make some changes here. Boost the red in it, for example. Maybe bring the blue down a bit. Or you can just play about with these. And the preview image refreshes very quickly, so we can see what a difference it's actually making. Here's up the saturation, and we'll just go with that for now. But you can play about with this lots more in your images. We're going to click apply to make sure that applies. Then we could change different ones as well, but we'll keep it like that for now. Okay, what shall we do next? Let's sharpen our image up a bit, shall we? We've still got our mask on, so it's just the galaxy that's applied. That's good. Let's go to unsharp mask, do a preview, and the default settings are way too high for this. Way too high. Let's just zoom in. But it's alright, we can take them down. And do a before and after. Just sharpening it up a little bit. I don't know how noticeable this will be on your screen because the video will be compressed, but with unsharp mask we're getting more definition in the dark bands in the galaxy. Let's apply that. And I think it might be time to take this mask off. So to remove the mask we're going to click on this little icon up here. And then notice that now that tag has gone to its regular grey background. Noise reduction now, I reckon. Use the latest version. Let's do quite a lot of noise reduction. Let's go for 0.6 and run that, and it should smooth everything out a bit. Okay, this galaxy's looking pretty good. Is that background dark enough? Should we do a little bit more curves on it? Just to make that galaxy stand out. See, before and after. Before and after. Subtle, but better, I would say. And we haven't made a copy for a while, have we? Okay. Time to put our stars back in. So we're going to go to Script, Utilities, Screen Stars. We're now doing star replacement. Our starless view is called M51 starless, and the stars view is called stars. I'm going to click tick on that. And here we go. You know what, we're almost there, aren't we? Now if we wanted to boost the red hydrogen areas, there's a few ways in which we could do that. Perhaps, actually I should make a copy, shouldn't I? Perhaps we should apply our range mask again, so that we're only working with our galaxy. I'll try not to make the same mistake as last time by inverting it. And we could perhaps go to curves transformation and just red. No, just a saturation maybe. Oh, I'm not sure. Let's try. Okay, boosting our galaxy a bit. Making it a little bit more red. Yeah, that looks a bit nicer, I think. And we could also, I wonder if this would work. Could try creating a red mask. No, you know what? I'm not going to overcook it this time. I think this is looking okay. But when you're doing your images, of course, play about as much as you like to get an image that you're happy with. Alright, let's take that mask off. The video is getting a little bit long now, so I won't play about much more with it. I just think we need to use integer resample to upscale by 2, because we downscaled at the beginning. Upsample to get us our resolution back. And there we go. I would say that is just about done. So that was a full processing video for our Galaxy M51. I hope it was useful. Thank you very much.